Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you are in this world. God bless you. This is Gloria White coming to you from Utah, USA. I'm going to share something with you guys. I keep this little piece of paper in my Bible. I have other little keepsakes that are precious to me that I keep in my Bible, but check this out. You see this? Do you have any idea what this means? My middle grandson, when his older two sisters and brother were going to school, and they got Valentines and they filled them out for their friends. And they all gave me one. And he didn't have any. So he took this little notebook and he tore out a paper and he wrote his granny a Valentine. Is that the most precious thing you've ever seen? It is to me. Oh, he was such a sweet child. But then he grew up and became a terror. Chapter 8 in Ezekiel and the Old Testament in the King James Version of the Holy Bible. Chapter 8. And it came to pass in the 6th year, in the 6th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I sat in mine house, and the elders of Judah sat before me, that the hand of the Lord God fell there upon me. Then I beheld, and lo, a likeness as the appearance of fire, from the appearance of his loins even downward fire, and from his loins even upward, as the appearance of brightness, as the color of amber. And he put forth the form of an hand, and took me by a lock of mine head. And the Spirit lifted me up between the earth and the heaven, and brought me in the visions of God to Jerusalem, to the door of the inner gate that looked toward the north. There was the seat of the image, and the image is the idol of jealousy, which provoketh to jealousy, or provokes the Lord to jealousy. Remember, Israel, he bewed Israel. Just like Jesus, the church is his bride, and he's our bridegroom. Well, for Israel, the Father is the bridegroom, and she is the bride, and he married her. And this is what provokes him to jealousy, when she's unfaithful to him. So here, let me read this part again. Where was the seat of the image of jealousy, or the idol of jealousy, which provokes the Lord to jealousy? And behold, the glory of God of Israel was there, according, or like the, like the vision, in the vision that I saw in the plain. He saw God. Oh, man. Then said he unto me, Son of man, lift up thine eyes now the way toward the north. So I lifted up mine eyes the way toward the north, and behold, northward at the gate of the altar, this image of jealousy in the entry, right in the entrance. He said furthermore unto me, Son of man, seest thou what they do? Even the great abominations that the house of Israel committeth here, that I should go far off from my sanctuary? But turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations. And he brought me to the door of the court. And when I looked, behold, a hole in the wall. And he said unto me, Son of man, dig now in the wall. And when I had digged in the wall, behold, a door. And he said unto me, Go in, And behold the wicked abominations that they do here. This is in his holy temple. So I went in and saw, and behold, every form of creeping things, an abominable beast, and all the idols of the house of Israel, portrayed or carved upon the wall round about. And there stood before them 70 men of the ancients, the elders of the house of Israel. And in the midst of them stood Jaazaniah, the son of Shaphan, with every man his censer in his hand. And a thick cloud of incense went up. Then said he unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen what the elders of the house of Israel do in the dark? Every man in the chambers of his imagery. In the chambers of his imagery is a room of his idols. For they say, The Lord seeth us not. The Lord hath forsaken the earth, or the land. Excuse me 1 second. Thank you. He said also unto me, Turn ye yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than they do. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north. And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. Now, Tammuz is a Sumerian fertility god similar to the Greek god Adonis. Then he said unto me, Hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than these. And he brought me into the inner court of the Lord's house, and behold, at the door of the temple of the Lord, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men, with their backs toward the temple of the Lord, and their faces toward the east. And they worshipped the sun toward the east. Then he said unto me, Hast thou seen this, O son of man? Is it a light thing to the house of Judah, that they commit the abominations they commit here? For they have filled the land with violence, and have returned to provoke me to anger. And lo, they put the branch to their nose. Therefore will I also deal in fury. Mine eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity. And though they cry in mine ears with a loud voice, yet will I not hear them. Can you blame him? I mean, this is what our God has put up with us as human beings since the beginning. Well, it's one disappointment after another. And those of us who have children, who have grown up and strayed, you got to be knowing exactly how he's feeling. Or someone who's been married and their spouse betrayed them. But this is like a horror. I mean, this would be like something that someone would do to you that would just be ripping your heart apart. I mean, oh, his words, he's like, Son of man, do you see them? Just turn around, look, worse, it's worse. Oh my goodness, guys, we have got to be good. We have got to be good. He deserves us to be the best we can be. And no matter what comes in this world, he will never leave us, and he will never forsake us. But those that rightly deserve judgment or a visitation or justice, he will not be slack in delivering it. And as always, I love you.